How's it going, my true people? Dr. Slacking, the Slacking Doctor, back with a quick announcement video today for a new series that is going to be going up on the channel. And that might seem a bit odd to do an announcement. Why wouldn't you just drop the series? But this is also going to come with a brief explanation of the format, because the series I'm announcing is I don't want to say complicated, but I definitely need some context for those who aren't aware, for those of you that don't necessarily have experience in what I'm talking about. So, the new series on the channel is going to be a draft league analysis series where I'm going to be taking essentially a case study of one of my draft league seasons that has been done outside of YouTube and going over things like team composition, matchup, the gameplay, things like that in more detail than I would probably normally do, but taking it from a less personal standpoint. So rather than being, oh, I'm really gutted because emotionally this happened here or that happened there, or I made this play because of this, whatever. I'm going to try and look at it from a more distant standpoint and say, this is objectively like a bad play here that I made or that whoever made, and just really try and analyze the game from, as I say, kind of like as a case study, as a kind of learning experiment, to really go in detailed as well as I can. And the league in particular that I'm going to be using for this is going to be OWL, which is why this comes with a brief explanation. So OWL is a team-based league where 8, I think it is, teams of 3 battle it out for the championship, 24 coaches in total. So myself, Eric/Strumpful, depending on what you know him by, and Isaac, we were a team of 3, and we took on, as I say, 7 other teams of 3 coaches. Each week, all 3 coaches play, and it's kind of like a best 2 out of 3. If 2 of your coaches win, you win the week. If 2 of your coaches lose, you lose the week. So really interesting format. Every coach has their own 11-man roster, just like a normal 24 coach draft, other than obviously you are planning your drafts with your 2 teammates, so you can avoid snipes from them at least most of the time. So it's kind of an interesting format, but in essence, each isolated game that I played during that season was still just a one-off draft league game during the season. But what OWL kind of produces is very, very high quality battles. The battlers in OWL are largely some of the best battlers in our little community that we have. So we have battles against some of the best people around, and that in theory produces very good battles for us to analyze kind of on the channel here. So, as I say, this series is going to be, this sounds awful, it's probably the worst thing you say, but less about entertainment in terms of, it's going to be less of a bestseller novel on the shelves of your local supermarket, and more of like a textbook that you would study in university, or if you're just passionate about a subject, I guess. That's my kind of attitude I'm taking towards recording this. I plan to write scripts for most of the episodes in terms of breaking down like each individual turn down to like kind of the micro decisions that go into things and the micro information that can be gleaned from things. So yeah, that's the idea, is that I want to see how analytical I can be. I feel like in general I try to be very analytical in my post-coms, but I feel like I can take it to another level if I really sit down and, as I say, make notes and try and make a very detailed annotation on each game. Now, one disclaimer I want to put out with this before I end this quick announcement video is that I do not profess to be the best draft league player around, far from it. This was not a season in which I shrouded myself in glory, and this is not an excuse for me to be like, hey, let me upload this season because I went 10-0 or something. No, you're going to see that. My record was, yeah, we'll find out together, I guess, on that one. Not ideal, but I think that the games were of a good enough quality. There were interesting enough things that happened even when I played badly for me to have something to really analyze and talk about. So I don't want you to go into this thinking, oh, he thinks he knows everything about Pokemon and that's why he's in a position to analyze it. No, I don't think that at all, but I think that if I can learn something by doing this, then you guys can learn something by doing this too, just in terms of really sitting down and going over games in great detail. And I also would love to see any engagements in the comment sections that you guys feel I missed things, that you guys think I was wrong on things. Like, I want this to be a real conversation. If those of you that have kind of studied at, say, degree level or higher in higher education, you'll know that it's not just one-sided. If someone writes a paper where they explain that, the theory of evolution is survival of the fittest, that then 10 other scientists are going to come out and write a different theory of evolution and why it occurs, and that it really isn't just one side, it's a conversation. And I want that to be like this, where you guys can argue, actually, I don't think that at all, or actually, yes, I agree, and we can really make it like an open dialogue. I think that's the best way for it to be. I have some hugely intelligent and talented viewers, so I'm very eager to see what you guys think as well. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted that disclaimer because I don't want it to come across as like an arrogant thing where I'm like, ha, I know everything about Pokemon, so be prepared to be wowed by my analysis. Not at all. I just want to give it a go and see what I think and see what you guys think, and hopefully it will be an interesting and informative series. So I think I'm going to start it with a draft analysis. This video should be going up on Thursday the 26th. The draft analysis will probably go up the following Tuesday, and from then on videos will go up on Tuesdays and Thursdays for this series. So we're going to have 2 battles per week. That's providing I can keep up with the kind of analysis and scripting for it. I've got a lot going on, so hopefully I can commit the time. Worst case scenario, we'll go down to 1 episode a week on, say, Tuesdays or Thursdays. But hopefully we can keep up with 2 episodes a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think I'll start with the draft analysis because I think that's important for context for the rest of the season as we go through. But again, I'm going to try and do that as detailed as I can in terms of not just, you know, well, this round there was this snipe, this round there was that snipe. I don't want to do it like that. What I want to do instead is, here is the whole draft. Let's analyze how that draft functions as a whole, how different things interact, how different things represent value or not in the draft, what are the greatest weaknesses, what are the greatest strengths of this draft, and to look at it almost like a power ranking, I guess, of a draft where you take it as a whole and you treat it like that rather than giving the story, the narrative of the draft itself, how it came to be. You look at it as a finished article and scrutinize it, pick it to pieces and then rebuild it. So yeah, that's kind of the idea here. As I say, hopefully that episode will be up on Tuesday. If you guys are hyped, please do like this video. I never have ever asked for this, ever, I don't think. But if you enjoy this series, and if you're still watching this one, thank you. But if you enjoy this series, think about sharing it with other people. Like, that would mean a lot. If this series turns out to be of decent quality, and you think that there is something interesting being said in these videos, then yeah, maybe show it to other people that play in the Draft League community. Maybe they will be able to enjoy it and get something from it too. But yeah, that would mean a lot. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say, because this is already longer than I intended to be. So I will be back on Tuesday with the draft analysis, I suspect. If not, I'll be back with a week 1 game if I think that the draft analysis video is uninteresting. But regardless, I'll be back on Tuesday with the next video in this series. Thank you so much for listening around with me, and I'll catch you again next time.